Hey, what's up, everyone? Sean here with Blue Ridge Silverhound, and today we got another edition of the good old Monday Market Report. In this video, we're going to talk about some of the most relevant modern post 1900 graded coins to have sold this past week, all courtesy of Great Collections this week. I do have an announcement as far as some upcoming shows that will play very heavily into the future Monday Market Reports. And in addition, if you're looking for some of those marquee coins that you want to add to your collection as maybe as part of a typeset, or you really need like a really nice, kind of like a statement piece, we do have a few auctions available coming up here in the month of April. So this is the last MMR for the month of March. Again, a really busy month. But just to recap a few of the upcoming events, we have Legend Auctions. They're going to be hosting the Regency 44 sale, which will go on April 21st. And that's going to be at the Bellagio in Las Vegas. Of course, you could also do the online bidding as well. All lots are available to view as we speak. So go ahead and check it out. The Regency auctions are breathtaking. So if you're looking for something nice, and they even have coins where you don't have to spend many tens of thousands of dollars. They also have some that are like $500 to $1,000 as well, that are in a lot of people's wheelhouses. So definitely check that out. But not too far behind that, Heritage Auctions has the U.S. Signature Coin Auction, which will go on from April 22nd to the 25th. All right, so that's Heritage Auctions. Go ahead and check that one out. That's ha.com. A lot of nice coins. I did a quick little preview snap of some of the listings that they have up on there right now, and some pretty nice stuff. All right, so if you're looking for some really nice U.S. type coins, or even some foreign material will be in there as well, go ahead and definitely check out the HA U.S. Signature Coin Auctions, and that's ha.com. But aside from that, we have all the listings from Great Collections, and usually when there's like bigger events from some of the other auction hosting sites like Heritage, Legends, Stax Bowers, generally we'll see a quality listing group from Great Collections, and that's usually so that way there's no overlap. In order to make the most amount of money off of their respective listings, they want to make sure they're not competing against some other big event by one of those other hosting sites. So as we get closer to the Regency 44 and the Heritage listings for the U.S. Signature Coin sale, you're going to see less and less great stuff on Great Collections. I don't even know if that's a thing, because a lot of the coins are fantastic. But in terms of like high-end, key date, that's it, or a combination thereof, low mintage, you name it, you're going to see less of that as we approached the April 21st, 22nd date. So I just want to let you guys know. But we do have 15 coins to talk about, as we do every week. We like to keep it nice and safe and simple for you. From the, I guess, the confines of your office, or, at home, or whatever the case may be. Let's see how the market shapes up this week with the first Great Collections listing. And that's going to be a erstwhile, I guess, variety that everybody likes to look for. This one looks like it came right out of change. And I guess I'm a little bit surprised by the grade, because it looks like it could possibly be a little bit lesser of a grade, but the coin must look really nice in hand for it to get a Mid-State 64 full red. The full red is what catches me, because it's not as beaming as what I would consider a full red Lincoln cent to be. This one right here is, of course, the close AM reverse type, so you could see just the A and the M are touching right here. They are touching. And in addition, you're going to have the modified initials here at the base of the memorial. So you want to make sure, if you're searching for these, that you're using both of those diagnostics. Sometimes This one right here will be all gunked up. You can't really tell if it's a close AM, but you could certainly use the initials to help, I guess, solidify this particular variety. This one is also FS901 in the Cherry Picker's Guide. And this one sold for a really nice chunk of money, $3,960. Again, if you were able to find one of these, the Denver is the, I guess, more common of the two branch mints. The Philadelphia is much more rare. But if you were to find this, no doubt about it, you would need to send this coin out to either PCGS or NGC. It's just going to make your sale go a lot quicker, smoother. There's no disputing the variety. You know, it is definitely a top 5 for any Lincoln Cent searcher, I guess. The next one that we have here, we actually have a really nice PCGS Mid-State 64 red-brown example of a coin that I've talked about the last few weeks. This is the 1970S doubled die obverse. This is the FS101. This is a strong one. All right, so if you look at, you know, things like Liberty and the motto "In God We Trust," those exhibit the most amount of doubling for this variety. This is also a large date, so this could only be found on the large date and not the small date. Really nice coin. Looks like it probably could have been a roll ender at one point because the reverse is, you know, that reddish brown patina. This one is also CAC certified, and this one sold for $3,712.50. It's another nice variety that's worth a lot of money. All right, so this is a coin that I added, even though it didn't quite meet like the $1,000 threshold that I normally have on the listings or criteria, I guess, for the Monday market report. This is one of the high-end keys of the Lincoln Memorial Series. And for the longest time, I mean, as recently as like 5-6 years ago, there were never any Mid-State 67 examples of this coin. It was either 66 through PCGS or Mid-State 66 plus. And I believe at the time there was like 1 or 2 Mid-State 67s. Well, this is an NGC graded example, and when I meant that there were only a few Mid-State 67s back in the day, they were both graded by NGC. There was no PCGS Mid-State 67s up until about, I would say, 5 years ago when the first 67 was graded by PCGS. That was effectively I believe it sold for just shy of $11,000 then. But this is a coin that a lot of people were paying at the time about $2,500 for. And seeing as how this is an NGC example, some would say, well, it's more like a PCGS 66 plus, where at the time that was still about a $2,000 coin. But just to show you how much this coin has plummeted in value, this is a Pop 4, by the way, in 67 through PCGS. So there's a number of pieces to help fill out some of those registry sets. This one sold for only $887.62. I didn't check the pops through NGC, but I would imagine there's probably a dozen or two of this coin in 67. There's just more of it in the market, and as you can tell, it has certainly affected the value of all of the pieces that are in existence. And people just want the PCGS example because it's not as conservatively graded as NGC is. So if you guys are looking to get into it, make sure that you have a really clean example and that you're fully committed to sending it to PCGS. It's not easy, but if you can get back a 67, that's a very valuable coin. All right, it's not a Monday market report without at least talking about one steel cent. All right, so we got a 1943S this time around. This one is a PCGS Mid-State 68. I mean, it's a really nice example, just shy of a top pop. It's also CAC certified, and this one sold for $3,093.75. The market and the money is still strong for these coins in 68. It's going to sell for between $2,500 to $3,000, and this one is more on the high end for this respective grade. And the final penny of the list is actually one of my favorites, only because my dad was born in 35. But what we have here is a really nice Mint State 68 red. This one is obviously going to end up in some registry set, I would imagine. So it is a top graded example. This one right here exhibits all the redness and just kind of like luster that you would expect for a mid-1930s Lincoln. This one right here sold for $4,978.12. On to nickels, where the first coin that we're going to talk about is going to be a 1964 Jefferson Nickel. This one is a proof set issued coin. Just to kind of let you know that this white scratch looking thing is actually on the slab and not the coin. All right, so that's important. You guys need to know that. This one is a very subtle yet notable variety. It's a triple die reverse. You don't see that too often, but this one is only found on the 64 proof Jeffersons. This one is the FS801 in the Cherry Picker's Guide, and this one has a really nice grade. NGC pegs it at proof 69 cameo. And cameo is tough on the 64. That's one of those dates where it's either boom or bust for cameo designation. But this one, there was enough frosting on the devices to get cameo. But this one right here, if you guys needed kind of like a closer look at what the triple die reverse diagnostics are, I would say your best bet is to go on to a website like Variety Vista and look on there because they got really nice close-ups. This one right here, these are the images provided, of course, by Great Collection, so you're not going to get up-close details in this video for things like that. This one right here sold for $1,125. And again, this is all a coin that you could find out of a $25 proof set. All right, so this is a really nice 1944D. It's got kind of like that hazy, kind of yellowish toning on there that you would normally associate with coins like this that have been stored in albums. All right, I've pulled out many brilliant uncirculated mid-state examples of these wartime silvers with this type of toning on there. This one right here, very well struck. Okay, so PCGS assigned this one as a mid-state 67 plus with full steps. Just a pleasing overall example. Again, more than likely this is going to end up in a registry set. This one sold for $1,522.12. And then the variety, the king of kings for the nickels during the post-1900 modern era is going to be, of course, the three-legged buffalo. I mean, you know, how can we forget this one? This one right here is just a modest mid-state 62. It's a really, really nice, pleasing example. Contrary to popular belief, the three-legged buffalo, the braided die, which is how this happened, is actually quite common. All right, there are a lot of examples in kind of like that VG to VF arena where you could pick up a really decent example that's genuine and authentic and probably not clean for about $300 to $400. But if you're looking for one with a little bit more meat on the bones, you can't really go wrong with this 62 right here. This one sold for $2,443.50. Which firmly places it, in kind of like that middle tier of investment quality coins. I would say the other one that would kind of rival this would be a really nice kind of like mid-state 62 55 double die obverse Lincoln. They're all in that $2,000 to $3,000 kind of arena. But it's nice to see the market, just strong for these type of varieties where there is obviously no shortage of them. All right, we have a few dimes. Actually, we got, 2 dimes on here. And again, this is another coin that can be found from one of those not so elusive $25 proof sets. All right, so this is a 57 Rosie right here with all sorts of frosting on it. And of course, when you have that level of frost with really nice, deep, dark, mirrored fields, that can only mean one thing. Deep cameo is just around the corner, and this one got it. It's a Proof 69 decam, one of the highest graded I've seen thus far of a coin of this caliber. This is just a beautiful coin. If Roosevelt's had a little bit more of a following than it does today, this would be just a knockout example right here for the market, that's for sure. But still a strong seller. Sold for $3,093.75. For Roosevelt dime standards, that's a lot of money. And we do have a Mercury, this time a 1942 S. This one is an NGC Mint State 68 full bands. Very nice, original, pleasing coin with some of the peripheral toning. Very light on both the obverse and the reverse of the coin. Overall, just a very, very nice, beautiful example. This one right here is sold for $2,679.75. 68 seems like kind of like an out of reach grade for a lot of these coins, but there are a lot of untouched, unplayed with Mercury dimes out there that's available in the marketplace that people are picking up and then sending them off to the graders. And a lot of them are coming back like 67 full bands, 68. I even have a few of them myself. Not a 68, but I had sent out a few early 40s, like a 41D, I believe, and also a 39 Mercury dime. They both came back 67 full bands. Believe it or not, I mean, those coins are like $200. They're not incredibly expensive. It's only when you get to 68 where the potential, really shoots up with those coins. All right, but they are out there. So make sure you, if you're a cherry picker by trade, to always look for things like this because they do pop up when you least expect. All right, so our, I guess, conversation piece of the video is this one, 2012 National Park Acadia quarter. And this is a Philadelphia minted coin. All right, so just to let you guys know, the America the Beautiful quarters of 2012 are very tough to find in high grades. Even if you could find Mint State BU rolls of these coins, I mean, they are incredibly tough. It was right around this period when you had like the Hawaii volcanoes, you had the Acadia and a few others that they were all nicked up coming out of a BU roll. All right, so finding one that's as clean as this one is very challenging. But here is kind of like the fine print of the video. I would heed caution in sending something like this out to the graders because it is incredibly difficult to get the top pop of such a coin. There are buyers of these. Of course, they are strictly registry set participants of this type of series, and there are a few out there. I mean, obviously, all of those interested parties did find this coin on Great Collections and had bid it up to a ridiculous amount of money. We're going to talk about that here momentarily. But just to kind of recap the grade, this one is a PCGS Mint State 68. Yes, 68. Very difficult grade. Some would say, well, don't the coins come out of circulation in like 67, 68 grade? No, they don't. Quality's good, but, as far as the overall handling of these coins, the coins are struck and then they get sent into a hopper and then they move on to the next thing. They didn't baby these things, that's for sure. So by the time it's all said and done, you had all the interested people that are, kind of going at a bidding war on this thing. This one sold for $4,251.26. I will also add that this is the single finest example of this date, which tells you a lot. It's a very exclusive coin. Even though many tens of millions and hundreds of millions of these were produced, I just want to let you know that it is like trying to win the lottery. It's that difficult. I would heed caution. I would avoid it altogether, because if you had sent one of these out, or 10 of them, or 100 of them, it's very expensive, and you will be shocked and maybe a little bit disappointed at the grade results that you do get. All right, so this is a beautiful coin. If you are into toning, you will appreciate this 1961 Washington quarter. It's a mint state 67, again coming, from an era in which high-end mint state 67 examples command a huge premium. So 60 all the way up to 1964 is that time. This one right here, beautiful obverse toning, sold for $2,531.25. And another one. This one is a 47S. This one has all sorts of originality that collectors love. Registry set people love the extra eye appeal, and that's what this one gives. It is also a former D. Brent Pogue provenance piece, which is pretty big. I mean, he's only one of the most notable numismatists in history. And here we go. PCGS has its own label in commemoration of the Pogue collection. So, you are owning an original Pogue piece right here. So, alliteration aside, the 67 plus brought home $1,112.50. And then we have a 46 Philly. All right, this one right here, again, just beautiful original coin with a little bit of toning on the edges of the front and the back of the coin. This one is a mint state 67 plus. Again, another registry set piece. I mean, that is the main general kind of like reason why you would buy something like this. I would say these are not long-term investable. In the event that more pieces come out in the marketplace, that are graded and come back 67 plus, that'll kill the value. So I always warn people, if you're going to get into it, this is something that if you're able to obtain the grades, flip it. All right, don't hold on to them because they will continue to lower in value. Unless, there's an influx of new registry set participants. But anyways, this one sold for $2,045.25. And the final coin, believe it or not, is going to be an Eisenhower dollar. Good old Ike here. Is the 1972 Philadelphia. One of my favorite dates to cherry pick. You got the Friendly Eagle variety, you got the Type 2, Type 1, you got all sorts of great stuff. But would you believe that because of the size of these coins, finding one in grades above like mint state 63 is kind of a rarity. All right, and there's no guarantee that even coins that come out of mint sets will grade. Like this one here is a 65, which seems like a very, I guess, pedestrian grade when it comes to modern coins. Some would say 66, 67, 68. I mean, that's where it's all at. But you got to figure that these coins are literal bullseyes for just like everything that you could throw at it, even the kitchen sink. So the coin doesn't look all that lustrous. It's got lots of planchet nicks and flaws and all sorts of other different things. I mean, it looks like a dull coin, but it did come back as 65, and it is the Type 2 reverse. So with all that being said, this one did sell for $1,044. Can you imagine the price if, say, this was, 65 plus? Not even setting the bar that much higher, but a 65 plus I could imagine could be like a $2,000 to $2,500 coin. And especially with the Type 2, I mean, that's what people are looking for. Eisenhower collectors are incredibly dedicated. So when you have a few of them that have discovered a coin coming up through the auction circuit, you better believe that there's going to be some pretty spirited bidding going on. But that's going to go ahead and do it, guys. Believe it or not, no $10,000 coins. No big hitters, I would say. That's what I would consider to be a big hitter. None of that this week. Again, things are kind of winding down ahead of the Regency 44 and the U.S. signature coin auctions coming up here in a few weeks. But that's going to go ahead and do it for the month of March, guys. Very nice month. We might see the market kind of plateau a little bit. I've noticed that bidding on some coins have kind of stagnated. So, we're seeing it more on the lower end examples, the cheaper stuff. It's only a matter of time. Okay, the train can just keep on going, but it will make a stop here and there. And we will encounter that probably this summer. Usually in summers past, especially the last 3 years, The summertime coin market activity has been unbelievable. But this year, I think we're going to see kind of like a shift for the first time. We'll probably see the market retrace a little bit, which to a lot of people, that's a welcome change. People want to be able to see the market take a slight dip, so that way people can get back in and buy some of the coins that have been out of reach for quite some time. But that's it, guys. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Hit that good old bell for instant notification. And as always, Coinaholics, we are discovering together. You guys have a wonderful Monday. Take care. And I'll see you on the next coin video.